Jonah Lomu, the New Zealand rugby player, was a force to be reckoned with on the field. Standing at 6'5" tall and weighing over 250 pounds, Lomu was a powerhouse who could run through or over just about anyone who got in his way. His speed, strength, and agility made him a nightmare for opposing teams, and his ability to score tries seemingly at will made him one of the greatest rugby players of all time. In this video, we'll take a look at Lomu's incredible career and explore why he was impossible to stop. Jonah Lomu was born on May 12, 1975, in Auckland, New Zealand. He grew up playing rugby league, but made the switch to rugby union in his early teens. Lomu quickly rose through the ranks, and by the age of 19, he had already made his debut for the All Blacks New Zealand's national rugby team. Lomu's early years were marked by his exceptional speed and size. He was already 6'3" tall and 230 pounds when he made his debut for the All Blacks, and his size and speed made him an instant sensation. In his first match, he scored 2 tries against France, and from that moment on, he was a fixture in the New Zealand team. He grew up playing rugby and quickly established himself as a prodigious talent. Lomu's memorable runs. Lomu's incredible size and speed made him a nightmare for opposing teams. He had a unique ability to bulldoze his way through defenders, leaving them in his wake. One of his most memorable runs came in the 1995 Rugby World Cup, where he scored 4 tries against England in the semi-finals. His speed and power were simply too much for England's defense to handle, as he charged his way through time and time again. But it wasn't just his power that made him special. Lomu was also incredibly agile for his size, able to step and swerve his way through defenders with ease. In a match against Australia in 2000, Lomu pulled off one of the most incredible runs in rugby history, leaving the entire Australian team in his dust as he charged towards the try line, running over Mike Catt. One of the most iconic moments in rugby history is Jonah Lomu's incredible try against England in the 1995 Rugby World Cup. With New Zealand on the attack, Lomu received the ball on the left wing and immediately burst into action. He charged straight at England's Mike Catt, who attempted to tackle him, but Lomu's size and power were too much to handle. With a combination of speed and strength, Lomu ran past Catt and over the line for the try, leaving the English defender in his wake. The try was not only a moment of brilliance for Lomu, but a display of his incredible athleticism and dominance on the rugby field. Lomu was a formidable player who was not only fast but also incredibly strong. He stood at 6'5" tall and weighed over 250 pounds, making him an imposing figure on the field. The try against England is often regarded as one of the greatest moments in rugby history and has been replayed countless times. It cemented Lomu's reputation as a legend and inspired a generation of rugby players around the world. Even today, many years after his retirement, Lomu's impact on the game and his legacy as one of the greatest rugby players of all time remain intact. Beating the French defense single-handedly. The 1999 match between New Zealand and France was a defining moment in Jonah Lomu's legendary career. With the clock ticking down and his team behind, Lomu took control of the game. He received the ball on the left wing and began his assault on the French defense. With his speed and power, Lomu broke through 2 tackles and left defenders grasping at thin air. He then fended off another defender before sprinting towards the try line. His incredible display of strength and agility left the crowd in awe. As Lomu approached the try line, several French defenders descended upon him, but he refused to be stopped. With his momentum carrying him forward, Lomu carried the defenders with him as he crashed over the line for the try. It was a moment of sheer determination from Lomu, who refused to let anyone stand in his way. The try was a turning point in the match, and it helped to secure a victory for New Zealand. But more than that, it was a moment that showcased Lomu's incredible skill and willpower. His ability to single-handedly break through the French defense was a testament to his status as one of the greatest rugby players of all time. In the years since that match, Lomu's legend has only grown. His incredible performances on the field, including his memorable display against France, have cemented his place in rugby history. Even today, he remains an inspiration to rugby players and fans around the world. Scoring against South Africa. In the 1998 match against South Africa, Jonah Lomu showcased his unparalleled skill and agility with one of the most unforgettable tries in rugby history. Lomu received the ball on the left wing and immediately began his charge towards the South African defense. As he approached the defenders, they attempted to stop him with tackles, but Lomu's strength and speed proved too much for them. One by one, Lomu beat 7 South African defenders, leaving them in his wake as he sprinted towards the try line. His display of athleticism and raw power was simply astonishing to watch. By the time he reached the try line, Lomu had become a blur of speed and agility, leaving the South African defense completely stunned. It was a moment that will forever be remembered in rugby history as a testament to Lomu's incredible talent and determination. The try was not only a display of his physical abilities, but also a showcase of his strategic mind and rugby intelligence. It demonstrated that Lomu was not just a force of nature on the field, but also a master tactician who could read the game and make the right decisions when it mattered most. Lomu's try against South Africa was a game changer for rugby, and it made him an instant legend. His incredible performance on the field paved the way for future generations of rugby players to aspire to greatness and inspired fans around the world to fall in love with the sport. Dominating the World Cup. Jonah Lomu's performance in the 1995 Rugby World Cup is etched in rugby history as one of the greatest displays of individual brilliance. The tournament saw Lomu at his absolute best, with his power and speed wreaking havoc on opposition defenses. He scored a total of 7 tries, including his famous bulldozing run against England. Throughout the tournament, Lomu was virtually unstoppable. In the quarterfinals against Scotland, he scored 4 tries, with his sheer physicality proving too much for the Scottish defense to handle. In the semi-finals against England, Lomu famously ran over Mike Catt on his way to scoring a stunning try. His performance in the tournament led to the comparisons with greats like Pelé and Muhammad Ali. Despite New Zealand's loss to South Africa in the final, Lomu's performance throughout the tournament was nothing short of dominant. He finished the tournament as the joint top try scorer and was named player of the tournament. Lomu's legacy was forever cemented in rugby history, and he became a global superstar overnight. Lomu's performance in the 1995 Rugby World Cup will always be remembered as one of the greatest individual displays in rugby history. His speed, power and agility were unmatched, and his ability to dominate games made him a true legend of the sport. Carrying the ball over the line against Australia. During a 1997 match against Australia, Jonah Lomu showed the world what he was made of. With New Zealand on the offensive, Lomu received the ball and ran towards the Australian defenders. The opponents knew what they were up against and tried to tackle him, but Lomu was too strong for them, shrugged off the defenders' attempts to bring him down and continued charging towards the try line. Eventually, he was tackled just short of the line, but he didn't give up. Lomu managed to stay on his feet, and with the ball in hand, he powered his way over the line for a fantastic try. It was a moment of pure determination and skill that demonstrated Lomu's incredible physicality and made him an instant hero to rugby fans all around the world. The way he carried the ball over the line was a sight to behold. It seemed like nothing could stop him, and Australian defenders were left in awe of his incredible strength and resilience. Lomu's legacy. Lomu's impact on rugby cannot be overstated. He was a true game changer, a player who revolutionized the sport and inspired a generation of players to push their limits. His incredible talent and raw power made him a household name, and his impact was felt far beyond the world of rugby. Sadly, Lomu's career was cut short by a rare kidney disease that eventually led to his death in 2015. But his legacy lives on, and his influence on the sport can still be felt today. His incredible skill and sheer physical dominance make him one of the greatest rugby players of all time. Lomu's inspiration. Lomu's influence on rugby was not just limited to his playing ability. He was also a true inspiration to countless fans and players around the world. His humble demeanor and down-to-earth personality made him a beloved figure, and his tireless work off the field helped to inspire the next generation of players. In particular, Lomu was an advocate for kidney disease research, using his own struggles with the condition to raise awareness and funding for research. His efforts have helped to improve the lives of countless people around the world, and his legacy extends far beyond the rugby field. Jonah Lomu was truly impossible to stop on a rugby field. His massive size, incredible speed, and raw power made him a force to be reckoned with, leaving his opponents in awe and the crowd on their feet. In this video, we have relived some of his most memorable moments, as he proves why he was a once-in-a-generation player. Lomu's legacy in rugby is secure, and his impact on the sport will be felt for generations to come. But he was more than just a rugby player. He was an inspiration to countless fans and players around the world, a true ambassador for the sport, and a tireless advocate for kidney disease research. Thank you for watching this exciting video, and we hope that you enjoyed.